Hello, welcome to the Magic 12, a series of fast but in-depth look at my 12 favorite 4-star characters, their strengths, and why you should consider building them. Some of these characters would be obvious and popular, while others may be a bit more niche. Hopefully with this series you may find a new character to try out and have fun with. As a short background, I'm Delitru, self-proclaimed 4-star Archon and a player who has full cleared every abyss since August 2021 using 4-star characters and weapons only. I'll be talking about these characters in pairs, so let's jump right into the first pair, Rosaria and Kaeya. Rosaria is an amazing 4-star unit, with a very rare ability to generate and share crit rate. Her E is a dash attack that positions her behind small enemies, kind of like a backstab of sorts. If she does a successful backstab, her crit rate increases. You can also use this to dodge enemies, which is very handy. Her burst is an icy field that deals cryo damage periodically, with the interesting property that all of the hits can react. This is very important for her melt teams, but we'll get back to that later. The burst also shares Rosaria crit rate amongst team members, so try to gain up to 70% to 85% crit rate on Rosaria to buff up the whole party. Don't worry, however, if you can't reach that 70% crit rate. Rosaria still functions as a very good unit regardless. Kaeya, on the other hand, is a free 4-star starter unit. His elemental skill and burst is very basic. I don't think I need to explain this one. A thing that you should know, however, is that only one of his burst icicles can react pre-C6, which means that only a third of your burst damage can be melted. Still, his burst moves along with the player, which can be handy against certain enemies. And he has energy recharge as his ascension stat, which doesn't help him deal that much damage, but is very appreciated in comps where he'll go solo cryo. More on that later as well. These two units are very similar to one another, but it's important to note key differences. As a general rule, Rosaria will have slightly more DPS than Kaeya, as she has an attack percent ascension stat over Kaeya's energy recharge stat. While both of their burst time can be extended with her C2, Rosaria's burst is always extended, while Kaeya's needs enemies to die. Rosaria can also have all of her burst damage melted by Shangling and Bennett, which just leads to massive damage output. However, their real strength lies in them acting as a pair in reverse melt. This team consists of Bennett, Shangling, Rosaria, and Kaeya. Every unit deals a large amount of damage, with Rosaria and Kaeya melting all attacks they can. It's also incredibly cheap. Rosaria and Kaeya can use 2-piece combos such as Gladiators and Wanderer's Troop and be fine. And yes, Gladiators plus Wanderers means that you don't even need to farm any domain. This is hands down their best team as a pair, and I'd really like to note how much damage this comp puts out. It's very high for such a low investment that you need to do. But thanks to Dendro, there's also now a new way to play the two, separately in different teams. You can make a fridge comp consisting of Kaeya, Xingqiu, Cookie, and Dendro MC. And on the other team, you could keep the reverse melt, but replace Kaeya with Sucrose, adding grouping and CC to an already powerful team. These two comps are very useful if Sucrose really needs to be on the non-hyper bloom side to group up enemies. Finally, while I don't recommend doing this, Rosaria and Kaeya alongside Xingqiu and Heijo can actually make a decent freeze team. You'll probably never run this unless freeze is just extremely favored in the abyss, but having this as an option never hurts, especially if you don't have the cryo 5 stars and that Hydro Herald is on floor 12. Personally, I have this team, but that's because I leveled up Rosaria, Kaeya, Xingqiu, and Heijo for different purposes. I can just combine them together if ever freeze becomes useful in the abyss. Overall, Rosaria and Kaeya are excellent characters that are versatile and strong enough for the endgame. If you have a Rosaria or Kaeya with cons, especially if they're C2 and above, it might be worth trying them out with these teams. Who knows? Maybe you'll find a new favorite comp. This has been the Magic 12 Part 1. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stay to watch the next video.